So Barbara and I just recently went on the Celebrity Reflections cruise out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And in this video, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about all the benefits that are included with that concierge class status, because they treated us very well. And starting with when we first got on the cruise, they had a special lunch that was just for the concierge class, and it was in the Opus restaurant, which is where we ended up having dinner every night. So it was very elegant, and that lunch that we had was absolutely fantastic. It was delicious, and we'll make sure to include a picture of that because that was our very first lunch on board. They also have, when it comes to dining, they had complimentary breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the main dining room. Unfortunately, I don't think we took advantage of that. We ended up having dinner every night, and it actually ended up being in that same restaurant, but we had the dining where we just did the anytime dining, or unfortunately, because we booked the cruise a little bit on the later side, we weren't able to get the first slot at 5:45, I think it was, but we ended up, it was actually a little bit better. We were able to do our, on I think it's called My Time Dining or something like that. And basically we were having dinner around 5 o'clock every night. So that was fantastic. But as part of the concierge class, they do have complimentary breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the main dining room. As far as the services included with the concierge, they have a dedicated onboard concierge continental breakfast room service. And again, that was a thing that unfortunately we did not take advantage of, because we were under the impression when we read the room service menu that there was a $9.95 fee for every time that you ordered something from there. And had we had known about that, I mean, we did this, but I guess we didn't really pay too good of attention, because had we had known this, I think Barbara especially would have taken advantage of that, because on all of our prior cruises, one of the things that she really enjoys doing is ordering coffee the night before, for the breakfast, because then she doesn't, as soon as she wakes up, she usually sets it for a time that she thinks that she's going to be awake. And she has coffee delivered to the room, so she doesn't have to go out and get coffee. That's just kind of a special thing, or a perk that she likes to, do when we're on the cruise. And this particular cruise, this was our first time, so we kind of learned a lot, but she wasn't able to take advantage of that, unfortunately. They have complimentary shoe shine service. I didn't even know that was still a thing, but neither Barbara or I or my son are the type to wear shoes that need to be shined. But or I shouldn't say my son. My son might wear those type of shoes, but we didn't take advantage of that shoe shine service. But they also have fresh ice delivered to your stateroom upon request. Another thing that we did not take advantage of, but they do have that available. So for anyone that wants to get ice delivered, if you're part of the concierge class, you can get that. They have a private departure lounge, and that's called the Tuscan Grill. Apparently it's on deck 5 aft from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Another thing, unfortunately, that we did not take advantage of. Now, some of the amenities, they had 1 bottle of Blanc de Blancs per cruise, and that's this one here, Duc de Valmer. I thought it was, we don't know anything about champagne, but it's, I looked it up, and apparently this is a budget-friendly alternative to champagne. So this is a Brut. We did end up getting this complimentary. We got, they call it Daily Delectable Delights, which was basically we got, cheese trays. They also had fruit, which is pretty good. And our stateroom host, he was fantastic. He said it was only 1 per day, but he ended up giving us 2 per day, which included the cheese and the crackers and things like that. So that was very nice that we got that. They had the 100% cotton bathrobes and towels to be used on board. Of course, you don't get to keep those, so they make sure that they put that on there to be used while you're on board and not to be taken home. They had complimentary handheld hair dryer. So for those of us that are on the concierge class, apparently they don't do that in every room, so only for the concierge. They had complimentary use of the golf umbrellas and binoculars. I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a room, on a cruise that came with binoculars, but They had that in the room for us to use. Kind of a fun fact or a fun thing, my son, he has some of his best friends. They ended up being on a cruise literally the same day that we were leaving. They were on a different cruise line, but it was at the same port. So I wish we would have been able to kind of coordinate a little bit better so they can, kind of see each other before they left. But the ships were literally in the same port, and so they were using we were using the binoculars to try to see if we can, see his friends, and they were kind of like waving at each other. But I think it was a little bit too far, though. My son said that he thinks that he was able to see some of his friends. But anyway, I thought that was cool. They also gave us a celebrity embossed card holder, and that's what this is here. So it's pretty cool. It looks like kind of like a little front pocket wallet, if you will. So it's got a couple slots on each side and then a slot in the middle. So that's pretty cool. They had a pillow selection upon request, and we definitely did take advantage of this. So they ended up having the pillow menu was they had like 3 different types of pillows. They had a body pillow, a hypoallergenic pillow, and then a Swedish isotonic pillow. So, all of us kind of have, both my wife and I have like different bed settings and things like that. Like, I typically like the mattress to be a little bit on the harder side. She likes it on the softer side. But these pillows actually, made a big difference because they helped us, get some better sleep. So we definitely took advantage of that. And I think that might be it. So we had a great time on the Celebrity Reflections cruise, and I think, a big part of it was these concierge benefits. So don't forget, if you are thinking about going on a Celebrity Reflection cruise and you happen to be a member of the Royal Caribbean Crown and Anchor Society, make sure that you let them know, because any of the points that you've accumulated with Royal Caribbean will transfer over so you can be a part of the Concierge Class on the Celebrity. So anyway, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Have a blessed day, everyone.